Good evening. Time is now 5:30. And we call this June 8th meeting of Lawrence County Council to order. We will begin with an invocation by Councilwoman Diane Anderson, followed by the pledge of allegiance. It's going to be led by Mr. Don Evans.
Let us pray together. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we come to you with thanksgiving in our hearts. Thank you for all the blessings you have restored upon us this day and what you have done for us on yesterday. We ask that you continue to keep us in your care and strengthen us where we are weak and build us up where we are torn down. We also ask for your presence in this meeting this evening as we discuss the concerns of the citizens of Lawrence County. May the things we do be pleasing to the citizens that we serve and also pleasing to you. And when we leave this Lawrence County courthouse, we ask that you be with each of us that have assembled here this evening as we go back to our respective homes, that you carry us safely there. That we find those that we left there doing well. These and other blessings we ask in thy son Jesus' name.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recommendation of Councilman Yance, we are bringing back our veteran pledge of allegiance that we started pre-COVID. I was honored last time to be the first one back. Don is a retired sergeant major, a training officer from the U.S. Army. He served from September of 1998 to June of 2014, a little better than 25 years. While there, he received Legion of Merit, Army Commendations Medal, Army Good Conduct Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal, Merit Service Medal, Army Achievement Medal, Third Award, Parachutist Badge, and Army Reserve Overseas Training Ribbon. He also received Armed Forces Medal with device of 20 years silver hourglass, Global War on Terrorism, Expeditionary Medal, Non-Commissioned Officer Professional Development Ribbon. While he was overseas, he was deployed to Honduras, Korea, Thailand, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Kuwait. We're very thankful for your service. Appreciate it more than I can express in words, and I want to read you what we signed this evening. Your appreciation. Certificate of appreciation, community gratitude, deep pride and heartfelt gratitude on behalf of Lawrence County, Lawrence. Here do I recognize the honor of dedicated service rendered to our nation, state, and community by the United States Army, Donald Lowe Evans, Sergeant Major. For your service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America, we salute our local servicemen and women and extend gratitude to all of our veterans who serve honorably to safeguard our freedom and democracy. Great appreciation and signed by all members. Thank you for your service. You know, I'll embarrass a little bit more. Don's been serving as our jail director for the past few years, and last Friday, sadly, was his last day with us. He's retiring after many years of great service. and glad we had you here in this county for the time that you were here. And I want to read you the resolution of commendation. Whereas heretofore, Lawrence County Council acknowledges from time to time the admirable competence and service, and Donald Evans has certainly fulfilled his career dreams as a public servant, both in the military and local government arena. 25 years of military, and yet again another 25 years collectively in law enforcement. Whereas most importantly, since 2019, Mr. Evans has faithfully taken his role as administrator of Lawrence County Detention Center with honor and dedication to all while displaying exemplary leadership. Whereas Lawrence County Council duly assembled desires to express by way of this resolution of accommodation its gratitude to Mr. Evans for his untiring leadership and community spirit as a public servant of Lawrence County. Now therefore be resolved, the Lawrence County Council does hereby offer congratulations from this day forward upon his retirement from Lawrence County as a milestone in his life. John, well done. We wish you the best and Godspeed in future plans. Grateful appreciation. I appreciate all the work you did and all you did in that jail. We're great to have you, and I hope whoever comes can halfway through your shoes.
Thank you. Lawrence County Council, I appreciate all you have done for us in this action. First time I met you guys, you put us on the path. That $55,000 that you allowed us to get that night started the path of correcting much needed problems that the detention center, main problems. And since then, the council has blessed me with giving us everything we pretty much asked for to make that place a better place. And I very appreciate what y'all done for us and what y'all done for the sheriff department as a whole. Just keep moving forward.
Thanks, sir. While we're on the Veterans Pledge thing, what I think would be a good idea is as we go meeting to meeting, that each council member be responsible for getting us veteran for each week, and we'll just go in order of council district. So I got Mr. Evans, the first one, Mr. Carroll, District 5. You can grab the next meeting. Ms. Anderson, you'll be first one in July. We'll follow subsequently after that. Ms. Walsh, the council member to get accolades and whatever you need for the agenda. All right. Next, we have approval of the agenda for this evening. We do have one amendment. Under old business, we need to add letter J, and we will be withdrawing resolution 2021-40C, and that was a workers' comp with 7710 insurance for fire. We'll discuss that when we get to it, but that would be old business letter J. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as amended? Motion to approve. Second. Motion by Mr. Carroll, second by Mr. Rankin. Is there any other additions or deletions? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 6-0. All righty, next we have approval of minutes from the May 25th meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from that meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to add to the minutes last meeting, I was not present, so we can have me added to the absent list.
Okay. Just Anderson. All right, do I have a motion to approve the minutes with the one change, adding Mr. Rankin to the absent list?
Motion to approve with change.
All right. Motion by Mr. Carroll, second by Mr. Rankin. Are there any other additions or deletions to the minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of approving the minutes as amended, please raise your right hand. 6-0. All right, next we'll move into old business. Does anybody have any board appointments to make this evening? Here none, we'll move to 7D. Next will be, the next three items are public hearings for the county general fund budget, general operation budget, fire service, and local sales tax. We will do them individually as prescribed by law, but if you come and talk about one or the other, it'll be okay. We'll know what you're talking about. There will be 3 public hearings. This is the first of 2 required ones. We will do the second public hearing at the next meeting, and that's when we'll have the third reading. So the time now is 5:38, and I will open the floor for public hearing on ordinance number 898 to 2021-2022 county general operation budget. If you have any comments, please step to the mic and state your name and address council. Seeing no one, we will close public hearing on ordinance number 898 at 5:39. I'll now open the floor for public hearing on ordinance number 899, 2021-2022 fire service budget. The time is now 5:39. If you would like to approach the podium, please state your name and address council. The time is now 5:40, and we will close public hearing on ordinance number 899. I will take this opportunity to state, as of the current reading, there is no scheduled millage tax increase for the county fire service budget or the general obligation budget. Next, public hearing on ordinance 900, which is the FY 2021-2022 local option sales tax. That is the local option sales tax that goes to offset your property taxes. I'd also like to note at this time, as stated in the ordinance, that the citizens will be receiving, the taxpayers will be receiving 100% of those collections back this year as a credit on their tax bill. So the time now being 5:40, I will open ordinance 900 for the first public hearing. If you have anything to say, please approach the podium and give your name and address council. Seeing no one, the time is now 5:41. We will close public hearing on ordinance number 900, FY 2021-2022 local option sales tax. Again, there will be a second public hearing on all three of those ordinances at the June 22nd meeting. All right, next, we will open the floor for public hearing on ordinance number 902, Project Tech. We go ahead and talk about this project now, Sandy, or wait till the reading. Okay. This project, these next two public hearings are for the same project. One's a FELO for the actual company, and the second is a special source revenue credit for the physical property. This company has announced as Notech. They are a metal components manufacturer for automobiles and commercial vehicles. They're based out of Sweden. Their first plant in the U.S. was in 2018. We're glad to be another addition of their U.S. manufacturing facilities. They will be making an $8.2 million investment and bringing in 82 jobs into Lawrence County. We're grateful for their picking of Lawrence County and are excited to welcome them here to town. So I will now at 5:42 open up public hearing on ordinance number 902. If anyone has anything, please step to the podium and state your name and address council. Seeing no one, the time is now 5:43. We will close public hearing on ordinance number 902. And we will move to the next agenda item, which is third reading on ordinance number 902. I'll open the floor for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move for third reading approval of ordinance 902.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Anderson and a second by Mr. Carroll. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of third and final reading, ordinance number 902, please raise your right hand. 6-0. Next, we will have public hearing for ordinance number 903, which is the adjoining special source revenue credit for this project. The time is now 5:43. If you would like to address council, please step forward and state your name. Seeing no one, the time is now 5:44. We will close public hearing on ordinance number 903. And I'll open up the floor for a motion on third and final reading of the ordinance.
Mr. Chair, motion to approve ordinance 903, third reading.
Motion by Mr. Rankin. Second by Mr. Karen. Is there any further discussion on third and final reading of ordinance 903? Here none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you all. Once again, we're always excited for the industry that come to Lawrence and apply for this project and many others that are. Next, we'll move to old business letter I, review of the Joanna Sidewalk project. I will start this one off. If you will recall, those of us who were here in the budget last year, we allocated $17,000 to the Joanna, I don't know some of their official names, Joanna Coalition of Better Joanna, thank you. To build a sidewalk in their community. There were several issues that popped up as we began the process, and it's been long and drawn out, and they finally cut through all the bureaucratic tape, and we've gotten to the point where they've gotten to the point where the sidewalk can be built. We would like to continue the funding of that project. They resubmitted bids because the ones that they submitted last time are obviously now about a year old, and we all know what's happened with the construction industry. The new project total is $18,395. We have already, like I said, approved 17 in the budget. And I believe it would be appropriate to continue funding another $1,500 to complete this project. It would be a great project to have done, and would be very useful for the citizens of Joanna. So if somebody would like to make it, I'd love to call for a motion to allocate $1,500 from the 156 FEMA Special Project Fund to complete the Joanna Sidewalk project.
Move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion by Mr. Triple. Second by Ms. Youngs. Is there any discussion or comments anybody want to make about this motion? All right, here none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Approving $1,500 of the FEMA Special Projects Fund for the Joanna Sidewalk project. The motion passes 6-0. Ms. Kirk, if you will please make that adjustment in that fund, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, next, last meeting, I believe it was last meeting, if you will recall, we approved resolution 2021-40C to change the fire department's workers' comp insurance from the Association of Counties fund to 7710 insurance. Upon the process of working this out, Mr. Sackville, Mr. Lindley, came upon a issue with the Association of Counties. They require a 90-day cancellation. And we were inside of that 90 days, so we would be responsible still for the entire annual payment. We cannot, there's no way around it. We can't do it. Mr. Lindley contacted this new insurance company today, and we've not been put into their system. We'll be able to withdraw from that this year and maybe revisit it next year. But we will be required at this moment to stay with the Association of Counties for workers' comp insurance for the fire department this year. So what we have to do tonight is basically, actually, Mr. Cruikshank, what verbiage would you like to make this happen?
Just 2%.
All righty, I'll make a motion this evening. I would like to make a motion to rescind resolution 2021-40C. Second by Mr. Carroll. Is there any other discussion on this matter? Here none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of rescinding 2021-40C, please raise your right hand. 6-0. I would like to commend Mr. Lindley for all of his hard work that he did on the research, attempting to draw down the cost of that insurance, and it was a substantial decrease. But we were unaware of the early cutoff date that we had to meet. So hopefully next year we can do take another look at it, and if it's appropriate to go that route, we'll make sure we do it before the 90 days gets there. But I would like to thank Greg and his staff for thinking ahead and doing their best to save taxpayers' money. All right, that is all for old business. We will now move into new business. And I will call on Mr. Sackville.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Council.
As you know, one of my projects is the historic courthouse here, the phase 2 design of this project, one of the capital projects. It's the exterior renovations of the historic courthouse, as well as hopefully putting an elevator interior to the courthouse as well. Part of that work requires a civil engineer discipline. So we want to recommend tonight that through our consultant ADC, that we contract with a civil engineer to do the amount of work that requires that discipline of engineering. That amount of request is $13,925. And so we would recommend that we engage that engineer to do that work.
All right. You've heard the recommendation by the county administrator. Does anybody have any questions from staff on this issue?
Where would that funding come from? That funding comes from the capital project sales tax. Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Carroll, second by Mr. Rankin to approve the contract from ADC Engineering as proposed by the county administrator. Is there any discussion on this project? Here none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion passes 6-0. I'll also take this time, since Mr. Carroll asked about the CPST funding, to allow Mr. Crookshanks to give us an update on where we are in the funding on that project, on the whole entire project.
Well, good news. We had two very good bond rating calls, Standard & Poor's and Moody's. We increased our bond rating by a step to AA. We put the project out to bid. Normally you got 7, 8, maybe 9 bidders. We had 14 companies bid on our bond. We were expecting about a $4.2 to $4.4 million premium. In other words, they'll be selling that bond above 100%. We got 4.7. So we gained tremendously there, which turns into cash dollars with bond and the premium. We're very close to $30 million cash money that we'll have next Thursday. I think everybody as we've circulated the signatures for the bond offering and the closing. That'll be, the pre-closing will be on the 15th, the closing will be on the 16th. Ms. Burke and her staff are ready to receive funds. We're ready with the project managers to move forward. So things worked out thanks to the help of a lot of staff and council members. Things worked out wonderfully, and we are looking forward to kicking this huge project off just as soon as we can. Cindy said she'll take good care of the money. So, but we did. We as our financial advisor, Brent Robertson with Stifel, said, you didn't hit a triple, you hit a grand slam. So, congratulations to all of you. Y'all made this happen, and the voters who voted in favor of it. So we're going to start seeing some projects come out of the ground here very soon. And I'm excited about it. And I know Dale and his staff are excited. Project managers are chomping at the bit to get to work. So, go around and see these projects, and some will be parks, some will be libraries, some will be infrastructure. And as over the next 2 or 3 years, you'll start seeing these things finish to where the citizens of this county will be able to use those, the splash pads, all those things. So good job. Thank you. And particularly Chairman Patterson for his patience and hollering at him, hey, you need to come sign this, or here's the cheat sheet of what you need to say when we get on the phone. But we we knocked it out of the park, and I'm proud of the whole group.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you to you and all, and several staff. I don't want to name anybody, but I'll leave somebody out. There was a lot of work that went into those bond rating calls and then also into the submission of those bids and going through those. So thank you all for all you did. I'm glad for our increased rating. That's good news. Even down the line, if we decide to issue another bond for something local here internally, that'll help us for that too. So I'm excited that we're able to increase that through the hard work of all of our employees, giving us a strong financial footing to be able to get those increased ratings.
And Mr. Blank, I appreciate this, our effective interest rate is 0.8%. You
That
guys.
is phenomenal. Well done.
You got any rate, that rate?
That's the best I've heard in a while.
So,
Good.
well, wonderful. Mr. Sackman, anybody sign up for public comments?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, we will jump right into county council comments. I'll start from right, Mr. Rankin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to take a moment to thank Mr. Don Evans for his many years of service to our county. We certainly do appreciate all that you've done. I personally wish you the best in your future endeavors and what you decide to do. You'll be missed by me especially, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Brewer.
Mr. Chairman, on Saturday, I had a chance to take a trip on the Revolutionary War Trail. We've got the anniversary coming up that we're going to be celebrating. So I went out with Durant, Asheville, Hallwood, Representative Stuart Jones, former county administrator, Bernie Seegers, Walt Allen, and I were all in a two-seat truck. And we went all over the county, took about 3/4 of the day. Among the places that we stopped was the Hague Station, where my 8 times great-grandfather was able to survive the massacre of Bill Cunningham. Cunningham was a Tory, and he trapped the Patriots there at the store and threw a bunch of hot coals on the roof, set it on fire. When they came out, he tied them all up and started hanging. And they hang them 2 at a time, and they broke the trestle. So he got mad and he started killing them by the sword. We got tired about halfway through and asked if anybody in there should survive. And some of his men said, that guy, Bill Blakely, he was nice to us a while back. He ought to get out of here alive. And Cunningham said, get out of here. And took off and became my 8 times great-grandfather after that. I think there's a lesson there about having good enough term with your mortal enemies that they might turn you loose if they had a chance. And I took that to heart. I'm gonna start being nice. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brewer. Mr. Youngs.
No.
All right, Ms. Anderson.
This past week, Presbyterian College participated, and they won the Big
South.
Big South. So I'm proud of them. And I want us to really show them what we can do by presenting them the Henry Martin Award for their endeavor and their achievement that they made. I know they not so good at the NCAA, but I think I enjoy them anyway. So, but I'm kind of on the bias side. So, but anyway, I want us to make sure that we can do something to celebrate them for their achievement this past couple of weeks ago. And along with Coach Elton Park. I think they did a great job. Also, we had an opportunity to go on a trail that right outside, right down in the Corbin Park, on the trail under the underpass, this past Saturday, and that was a nice place to visit. I think we are opening some lot of green space areas in the area, and so I want all of us to make sure we take an opportunity to go out, and especially now since we've been inside for now about a year or so, we can get out and just see some of the things and the creations and some of the things that people are working on, you know, to do the trails. And I don't see why they didn't say anything about that.
I got it covered.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay, since you love trails tonight. Anyway, just, and also to end it with, our detention center administrator, we thank you for the service that you've done. I know a couple of times, you know, I'm hard on you all. Hard as hard you can get, right? And I'm observing y'all this evening too, with your open care, that they ask, look at them. But, I want you all to make sure you're looking out and protecting the citizens of this town. And I appreciate all the work that you have done at the detention center. And I wish you a lot of luck in your retirement. Enjoy it, make some plans, because it's an enjoyable time. You worked hard and you deserve the time that you have to enjoy, so enjoy.
Thank you, Ms. Anderson.
Sir, I also want to say thank you for your service and your leadership to the county. There'll be a huge void when you leave because of what you did and the passion you had for that. Law enforcement right now is very difficult, and anybody who's in law enforcement needs to be lauded for what they're doing. So thank you so much for that. I want to cheerlead for the county again, like I did last time. Hearing our bond rating and the capital projects that are going up, it's all a testament to what we've tried to do as a group to move the county forward and to find a way to do it fiscally responsibly so that it doesn't impact the taxpayer negatively. And so things just seem to be going the right way. I'm happy about that. I wanted to also give some props to Mr. Booth Brantley. His family sings in a Rock of Ages group, and it's a family group. And if you haven't heard of it, it's fantastic. They're the most angelic voices that all of the sisters and brother and father are all talented beyond belief. Blessings from God. They came to our church and sang on Sunday night. So I just want to thank you for the blessing of that.
All right, thanks, Mr. Carroll. I'll start by saying thank you again to Don Evans. It's always been a pleasure working with you. I've been out of jail several times when we need to talk, and I'm glad we were able to help in some ways, and I hope we'll continue to make that detention center a better place. But under your leadership, it was fantastic. We were grateful to have you for the time we did, and I hope you won't make yourself a stranger. Hope you'll come by and see us every now and then. But thank you again for your service to this county and to this country. It's greatly appreciated. Ms. Anderson alluded to it, but while Mr. Tribble was touring historic sites, Ms. Anderson and I were at the Miller's Fork Trail grand opening in Clinton. It's on Corporate Drive, which is almost a hidden road. It runs from the Hardee's on 56 over to the new QT on 72. And a lot of people don't even know that road exists, especially from the 56 side. It looks like the entryway to Days Inn. There's actually a road that runs all the way from one highway to the other. And about halfway down, if you're going from the 56 side on the left, you'll find an entrance to the new trailhead. The parking's there and it splits and goes both ways, goes down to little shoals. And it's pretty, and it's cool in the woods. It's a little warm in the sunshine in the middle of the day. But it was great. It was a great turnout from the residents of Clinton and the county, but Clinton Canopy and the Lawrence County Trail Association have worked hard for several years to bring that project to fruition. Andy Howard, our Parks and Rec director, was there. They had a big part. We'll be maintaining that for the time being and keeping it safe. Sheriff agreed for the patrolling of it. That was another big piece of the puzzle they had to hurry that jump over. So thank you, Sheriff, and your department for being willing to patrol that area. I'm going to give an update. Mr. Tribble felt to mention it tonight, but I would love to see a bike trail between Lawrence and Clinton. But we've been working on getting with multiple entities trying to figure out a path to make that happen. And we just finished drafting a letter last week and are garnishing signatures from appropriate parties and look forward to future meetings to try to make that dream a reality as we move forward. That'd be great. It's a passion of yours, and I think it's great. It would be a great asset to this community to be able to have folks come in and ride their bikes from one end of the county to the other. The last thing I want to say was we're dealing with the budget. Budgets can always be contentious amongst councils as we go through and from year to year. different things arise, but I do want to make sure that we note, despite what several past elected officials are blasting across Facebook, there is no tax increase coming for this current year, unless something goes crazy between now and June 22nd. But according to the county auditor, we will not see a millage increase for your county taxes, for the power budget, the general budget, and you will be receiving 100% of your local option sales tax back. We did that for the first time in a long time last year. And Mr. Wood, that served up here with us, he pushed hard years and years and years, and I'm glad to see last year that we were able to bring that to fruition. And due to industrial growth, due to new residential growth, we were able to secure enough revenue that we can give all that tax money back to the taxpayers as it should be. So I'm proud to announce that moving forward, and that is a grand feat given what's going on in the county and the increases. And we're doing all that while we're taking care of our employees' compensation. We're still working on compensation packages, but we have allocated 1.5 million in the budget towards compensation adjustments. So even with that alone, we're still able to maintain the current level of tax revenue from our citizens and not burden them with more taxes. And we are all, I think, proud of that and grateful for that. We folks up here that we were able to fight hard, and a great group of employees, they'll communicate that down the line, who day in and day out pay attention to their expenditures and truly treat it like it's their own money, and they save this county a lot of money by being frugal and appropriately spending. So we are thankful for that as well.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for that. But from the employees, I want to thank you for the opportunity we had to meet with you in the budget workshops to go over our individual budgets. I heard so many positive comments from the employees to council for hearing their needs and working with us. And it was just great teamwork, and they're so appreciative of that.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate y'all. We have a phenomenal team right now. We have a lot of great employees in this county, and we're truly blessed. So with that being said, we have one matter to discuss in executive session, a contractual matter relating to building and grounds. So the time is now 6:06. I will call for a motion to enter executive session. Motion by Mr. Carroll, second by Mr. Rankin. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 6-0, we will reconvene in executive session at 6:15.
Take it to
Corner left, and call back. We live, Russ. All right, the time is now 6:27. I'll call this meeting back to open session. All righty, council convened an executive session to discuss a contractual matter relating to building grounds. No action was taken in executive session. I will, however, now open up the floor to entertain any motions.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion for Lawrence County to enter a contract with SCNG for the purchase of the Winn-Dixie building and surrounding land for the purchase price of $760,000 to be paid from the county reserve fund.
You've heard the motion by Mr. Rankin. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Trump. Is there any further discussion on this? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of entering into a contract to purchase the Winn-Dixie building on Bolt Drive with a amount of $760,000 with surrounding property, please raise your right hand. Motion passes 6-0. That, is there any other business to be had? Hearing none, I'll call for the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Carroll, second by Mr. Rankin. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 6-0.